La PS5 sort demain. Best Buy m'a toujours pas envoyé de shipping confirmation. I'm losing my mind over here. J'aurai pas mes consoles cette semaine, guys. C'est impossible de lire. À moins que the Holy Spirit, man, me donne un gift from the heavens. Puis que bam, demain ça arrive. Je pense que. Finalement, Next Gen Week, c'est pas cette semaine, ça va être la semaine prochaine. What a fucking bust. Anyway, bienvenue à la VIICTIIMINUTE du 11 novembre 2020, en ce jour de souvenir aujourd'hui. On a un review roundup pour The Pathless ainsi que Godfall. Deux jeux qui vont être disponibles sur PC, mais également qui vont être des launch titles pour la PlayStation 5. Godfall, j'ai déjà voiced my opinion on it. I don't care about that game. And The Pathless, par exemple, looks really fucking good. Fait qu'on check un review d'IGN, puis Godfall, IGN ont posté un review in progress, fait que c'est un autre outlet qu'on check. Anyway, on check les scores des deux jeux sur Metacritic. Sinon, ah oui, hier, la Series X est sortie, puis il y a déjà plein de monde qui a un paquet de problèmes, fait qu'on ouvre le show avec une liste de problèmes qui ont été reportés sur l'internet, puis on debunk si c'est des actual issues ou si c'est du monde qui fake pour des clics on Reddit and stuff like that. Sinon, at the top of my head, je sais pas, il n'y a pas eu grand chose de percutant outre ça pour la VIICTIIMINUTE. Mais je vous invite quand même à l'écouter au complet parce qu'à la toute fin, c'est la question de la semaine. On parle justement de PlayStation versus Xbox qui va gagner le console war à long terme. Fait que, yeah, je vous tiens au courant pour tout ce qui est Xbox Series X quand je vais l'avoir, puis ma PlayStation 5 que j'aimerais savoir cette semaine, mais je pense que c'est un peu. Ce projet-là est un peu mort. Mais ouais, demain, l'autre VIICTIIMINUTE, puis peut-être vendredi, parce que j'aurai pas ma Christie de console. Hey, je suis mad, man. Ah. Actualité. The ball is in Sony's court. Just fucking announce the stuff, please. Critique. En tout cas, le user score sur Metacritic est à 2.6. Rumeur. I don't know. I'm just sharing this on the internet. Discussion. C'est pas n'importe quel jeu là, c'est fucking Halo, ok? Réaction. Nintendo, what the fuck are you doing? La VIICTIIMINUTE avec Victim. En manchette pour la VIICTIIMINUTE du 11 novembre 2020. Here we go again. Une nouvelle console est sortie. Évidemment, le monde va poke fun à tous les problèmes qu'il peut avoir avec la console. Comme vous pouvez voir, on a un merveilleux thread Reddit qui liste tous les problèmes de la Xbox Series X jusqu'à présent. Obviously, c'est quelque chose qui est très reconnu. Oui, j'ai parti Audacity, chub, calice. Je sais pas si vous avez vu, là, il y a du monde comme quoi qui dit que la Xbox Series X, ça smoke, ça a été debunked. Une affaire que j'ai remarqué, puis j'ai retweet ce matin, puis on va en venir plus tard, mais je veux vous montrer l'image, parce que that looks so visually impressive. Obviously que je vais l'essayer quand j'aurai ma Xbox Series X. Check this out, ok? It's from the future. Si tu mets une balle de ping-pong par-dessus ta Xbox Series X, elle levitate. It's the future. Next gen consoles, mesdames et messieurs. Le monde sont déjà dans des fake news. Mais on va regarder la liste des problèmes. Le smoking, ça a été debunk. J'ai vu le vidéo YouTube tantôt. Que c'est fake. Le gars, il a fait ça avec sa vape, apparemment. Turning on isn't working. And similar here. Ok. Oh. Weird noise. Ah, c'est-tu l'affaire avec le CD que j'ai vu sur... That doesn't sound right. That does not sound right. This drive is blocking. God, dude. Tu payes une console à fucking $700 on launch day and it doesn't fucking work. Holy shit! Ok, non, je pensais que c'était le bruit, mais c'est le shit audio, là. Wow. Oui, Dad, I bought the Xbox. J'ai pull un Alain Chesson. J'ai order une Xbox. Ouais, ça, c'est celle-là que j'avais vu, le bruit. On dirait que genre t'es chez le dentiste. Wait for it. Eee! Pas de prix pour être heureux. Hey, there you go. That's my dad. Weird fart sound. What? I need to listen to this. Ah, fait un petit pet. On dirait que le disk drive il bug genre. Oh damn. That's not cool. Dude! Il a scié le jeu! On dirait que tout. I mean, tu sais, c'est ça qui arrive. C'est plate quand ça l'arrive. Piece of shit. Ça l'arrive, mais comme, tu sais, ça doit être genre le 0.05% du monde qui ont des problèmes, là. Fait que, chill. Everything's gonna be fine. You're gonna get your sweet console. Tout va marcher, ok? Elle arrivera pas poquée. Elle arrivera pas avec un faulty disk drive. C'est ça. Des citrons, ça l'arrive. Puis, encore plus, faut quand même être compréhensif. Même si je le sais que tu payes une console 700$, t'attends X nombre de temps avant de la recevoir. Reste que on est dans un era de 2020 où est-ce que tout est imprévisible puis tout est fucked up. Fait que faut être compréhensif quand même. Checkez ça. Hier, Wario64 a report comme quoi que Target envoyait des messages d'avertissement comme quoi que les consoles allaient être potentiellement envoyées sans packaging. Ce qui veut dire que Mr. Target Delivery Guy, il arrive chez vous, il crisse la PS5, pas de boîte, rien, juste la straight PS5 box devant chez vous. Pendant que tout est en train de travailler, hey, le monde va se faire voler. Because this item ships in its original packaging, there's no way to hide what it is. C'est the PS5. What do you mean? Puis après ça, ça a été report comme quoi qu'il allait avoir des brown bags. Target Customer Service says that the PS5 will ship in a traditional brown bags. Voyons, je recommence ça. Bags. Brown Target box after all. Il y a le chat log pis tout. Joseph, il dit I am working on your concern. Please allow me a minute. Upon checking your order, PS5 will come in traditional brown Target box. Hey, tu sais, Alexis, il rit des gamers qui angoissent là. Mais sacrément, si je suis en train de travailler pis ma Xbox ou ma PS5 est dans mon entrée, n'importe qui peut genre la prendre pis sacrer son camp avec là. C'est pas cool. Ok, pis ça c'est l'affaire de justement the Xbox Series X can seemingly make ping-pong balls float. Ça c'est awesome. Ça là, it looks like straight from the future. Une plume ça flotte pas. Which is weird, mais où la ping-pong image? Perhaps people too willing to believe in the beautiful dream of keeping a ping-pong ball about... Ah, fait que c'est fake! At 10:20 AM. Ok, ça vient juste d'être updaté. Fait que c'est fake. Non! Really? Moi, je voulais essayer ça. Ok, fait don't believe anything you see on the internet, chat. Tout est fake. Everything is fake. Perhaps we were too willing to believe in the beautiful dream of keeping a ping-pong ball aloft above our new console. As shown in a video by Yozaja on Twitter, the Series X seems to emit enough air to wobble but not carry a feather while running Assassin's Creed Valhalla, presumably a more taxing game than Forza Horizon 4, which was shown in the original ping-pong ball post. Probably shouldn't have ordered those ping-pong balls in retrospect. Ok, c'est pour ça, parce que j'étais comme, Chris, c'est où l'image? C'était un update, fait que... C'était fake, finalement. C'est ça, je l'ai parlé au début du stream, mais apparemment, il n'y a pas d'embargo pour Demon's Souls Remake sur PS5. Ce qui veut dire que c'est une des raisons pourquoi il n'y a pas de review en ce moment. Puis j'ai fait des recherches sur Reddit tantôt, pendant que j'étais en train de take my morning poo, parce que j'étais comme, Chris, les reviews sont pas up. Le jeu c'est un launch title, même pour Sackboy. Je sais pas qu'est-ce qui se passe, là. Weird decision de PlayStation, mais apparemment, PlayStation n'a pas envoyé de review copies pour Demon's Souls, qui est la raison pour qu'on n'a pas de critique de up. Donc potentiellement, on va les avoir next week. Puis comme on a vu au début du stream, le monde il stream comme si de rien n'était, fait que that's kind of disappointing. Cela étant dit, on va poursuivre avec un PS5 game qui sort également sur PC puis PS4 demain. The Pathless, présentement a une moyenne de 81 sur Metascore, sur Metacritic, je veux dire. Le Metascore est de 81. J'ai le review de IGN juste ici, de Pathless, qui a l'air fucking sweet comme jeu. Fait que let's see what my man Jonathan Dornbush had to say on the game.
The Pathless is at its best when it's living up to its name. As the mysterious hunter, I found myself most enraptured by this open world when I let my curiosity guide me. Built to satisfy that interest, the landscape is filled with engaging environmental puzzles, hidden bits of lore that deepen its main story, and gorgeous
Fait qu'il y a des puzzles aussi, là.
Coupled with a simple but engrossing movement mechanic and an orchestral score that elevates the mythic quality of this new world, The Pathless is a journey absolutely worth taking.
Yeah, nice. Mais, dude, ce jeu-là, il est cher. Sur Epic Games Store, il est genre 50$. C'est un digital title, là. Je m'attendais à comme 30$. Non, c'est $50. Merci, Kubrick.
At the heart of the Pathless is its movement mechanics, which are rather revelatory in their simplicity.
I try my best.
The island is filled with floating gems, which you need to shoot with your only weapon, a bow, to gain speed and maintain your flow. Because of this, the sensation of running, of gaining and maintaining speed is a sheer delight, and that turns the world into something of a playground for how you get around on foot and in the air. The hunter is accompanied by an eagle companion who can not only carry you across distances by gliding, but also use a limited number
Même
of
quand t'es dans les airs,
flight height.
c'est bien
It's
nice.
just as well that there's no fast travel because skipping the running and gliding would be missing the point.
Puis avec les adaptive triggers, ouf.
The shooting doesn't require a lot of skill because developer Giant Squid has completely removed the worry of precision aiming. Instead, the forgiving third-person camera lets you swing it around to auto-target gems. You just need to hold the trigger down to fill up a meter, or if your timing is good, let it fill up precisely halfway to get even more speed.
Go your own way.
By removing the challenge of aiming and instead putting it on button timing and quick thinking as you decide the route you want to carve out, the Pathless freed my mind up to think less about the specific points I was shooting at and more about how to move through the gorgeous landscapes ahead of me to create constant forward momentum. A missed shot here or there rarely tripped me up. And while you can wander aimlessly, there's plenty to guide your way and reward your curiosity. Two main collectibles in particular are plentifully hidden throughout the world. Crystals, which are needed to increase your eagle's ability to reach new heights, and light stones, which are often collected after some intricate but satisfying puzzle and used to cleanse a set of cursed watchtowers in each region. The Assassin's Creed Eagle Vision-like mode used to find areas of interest is particularly helpful because the Pathless includes
sur PS4 puis PC
You
est
climb to
different.
high towers to then survey the land around you, but you can't
Puis
mark a
Bug
cliffside
Snacks,
or building.
j'oublie tout le temps qu'il est sur PC, mais là je vais le dire once and for all là, pour me corriger pour toutes les fois que j'ai dit que c'était un PlayStation exclusive, mais Bug Snacks est également disponible sur PC. Fait que s'il y en a qui veulent can bug and can snack, ben il est sur PC également.
For you to track later. It can be disorienting at
It's
first in a
Bug
new region,
Snacks!
but over time I appreciated how it forced me to learn and remember the world around me. Each location I went to included at least a few notable puzzles. The Pathless never really tells you what to be looking for, but its visual cues are easy enough to understand and then apply to increasingly complex puzzles.
It's bug stacks! Hey, j'ai la tête dans la tête de Pierre, là, vous avez aucune idée, là. Kinda bugging, kinda stacking.
The Hunter's Path takes some familiar fantasy storytelling trappings involving a god-slaying figure, but I still found myself consistently engaged and wanting to learn more via little bits of lore dropped as written records of the island's dying citizens' last thoughts. Showdowns with the corrupted gods are quite cool in execution. They're part chase scene as you hunt your foe through the landscape, and part Zelda-esque battle with several phases.
Ooh, I hear Zelda.
While the first battle is relatively simple, Giant Squid finds some inventive twists on its formula. And each battle is backed by some of my favorite pieces of composer Austin Wintory's overall fantastic orchestral score. As you explore each of the Pathless's 4 main regions, a giant red orb of a storm shifts around the land. If you're caught in it, you and your eagle are separated, and you must find your way back to them in a rather basic stealth scenario in which you have to avoid the boss's gaze. This can frustratingly interrupt you in the middle of a puzzle, but the stakes are high enough to keep them from being meaningless.
Ça doit ruiner le pacing un peu.
But once a boss is defeated, there's no real pressure whatsoever on how long you spend searching every nook and cranny for crystals and lightstones. I finished the Pathless story with a modest 40% or so of collectibles in about 7 hours, and returning to try to collect everything has not only been a joy, but some of my favorite parts of the Pathless. The Pathless's reliance on a simple but engaging movement system allowed me to explore Giant Squid's beautiful open world with ease, placing its challenge more on the environmental puzzles you inevitably arrive at rather than on the journey itself. Its story may settle into some familiar territory, but it still finds ways to fascinate with this world and the history its landscape holds. Each new crumbling building or encampment rewarded me in some way for coming across it. Giant Squid's thoughtful mechanics and layered puzzle design make the very act of finding your way a thrill in and of itself. For more on the Pathless, be sure to check out the developer-led gameplay walkthrough, and for more on PS5 launch games, watch our Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales review. And for everything else the Pathless, you're already in the right place, IGN.
There you have it. 8 out of 10 de la part de IGN pour the Pathless. L'affaire qui arrive, c'est que le jeu est comme 50$, il dure 7 heures. I don't know, man. It's hard to justify a day one purchase. So, regarde d'autres reviews sur Metacritic. Game Informer, The Pathless is a wonderfully different game that makes you feel like you have ownership over the entire experience and you are not being led along by a pre-scripted playbook. 8 out of 10 également. GameSpot qui en donnait un 7 sur 10. Most of the Pathless plays to its mechanical strength, freeform exploration, satisfying movement, and methodical puzzle solving. At times, that lowers the stakes a little too much, but it maximizes the kind of gameplay the game is named for. For a player like me, who beelines for an objective every time, it's refreshing to simply take things as they come. The Pathless is the rare game that gives you more by not asking too much, and that makes it special. Fait que dans le fond, il y a vraiment pas beaucoup de hand-holding dans ce jeu-là, de ce que je comprends. C'est un peu Breath of the Wild-esque. T'es droppé dans un monde, puis you can do whatever you want. Fucking Godfall, man, qui a actuellement un Metascore de 62. J'avoue qu'il y a juste 6 reviews notés, mais quand même. IGN ont posté un review in progress, donc... sadly, on peut pas se fier sur ce que IGN a dit. Ils ont tweet out, so far Godfall is an entertaining action looter with loads of choice, but its lackluster story and similar missions are starting to wear a bit thin. Who said que ce jeu-là avait l'air répétitif et vide? Not this guy. Not this guy. Definitely not this guy. Par exemple, j'ai trouvé un review vidéo de God is a Geek. Fait qu'on va le regarder. Sinon, il y a également... Ah, je l'ai plus. J'avais un autre review, c'était de... Fuck, c'était de EGM, c'est ça? Yeah, EGM. Qui ont donné un shit score de 2 out of 5. Mais ils n'ont pas de vidéo review, fait que je lirai pas toute l'affaire. Mais yeah, 2 out of 5 disant Godfall, sluggish, overly complicated combat, hilariously paper-thin story, and numerous technical issues make it a low light of the PS5's launch lineup. Shit, hein?
Kroos was the better warrior that day.
You've played Godfall before, and that's a bold statement perhaps because you literally haven't played it before because it's not out yet, but you've played its key components before elsewhere. But I want to be clear, that is not a knock against this game. Godfall is a title that feels like people have been ridiculing it for no good reason, and there's a gaming subset who are going to absolutely love this game, while others will be distracted by just how shiny it is, and not realise that suddenly they're pouring hours into a loot game. Yep, it's one of those.
Underneath the hood, par exemple.
This is a Diablo-like or melee-based Destiny 2 game, only with less bullshit, you know? That's not to say there isn't lore, because there's loads of that, and it's mostly nonsense, but just in case, here we go.
Damn, le gars, il
Two
envoie
brothers get
sassy,
along
man.
really well
Roasting the
until they
fucking
don't, so they
shit out of
attack
the
one another
game.
with their armies. One loses, only he's down but not out, and while the world thinks Orin, the character you play as, is dead, that's not the case, and it's Orin's job to rise up, regain his army, and take down his brother Macross, who is trying to become a sort of god who would rule everyone. It's a fine wrapping for Godfall's ideas, but honestly, it feels purposefully over the top, which matches the gaudy, shimmering art style on offer. Again, it sounds like I'm down on the game, and I'm not. The art style just doesn't gel with me at all. It eventually does let you see a more naturalistic style, but up front it's all gold, shiny, and feels like the kind of place Dr. Evil would love to live. It's not my bag.
Wow.
But it does look gorgeous, it's really pretty, and it's executed phenomenally well. I spent all of my time with the game favouring frame rate, and not only did I not spot a frame drop of sorts,
gentlemen.
it really does look stunning on a good 4K TV setup. Kudos is earned then for showcasing a game that I don't think could run this well or look this good on the last gen in that respect. The biggest surprise Godfall has to offer though is the combat, because this is the closest to God of War I've seen a game get since, well, God of War. You can equip 2 weapons switchable with triangle from longswords, greatswords, dual blades, polearms and warhammers, and they all feel incredible in your hands. You can set up combos that make use of all manner of additional skills, but crucially outside of the standard melee combos, the skills all feel utterly badass to use and flashy to look at. You can make use of a polarity skill, for example, to switch weapons at the right time, and there's an enormous upgradable skill tree that genuinely does seem to showcase a great amount of depth to the combat. Your shield also offers more than just defense. There's a shield bash that stuns enemies, allowing you to hit them with a death blow while downed. You can throw the shield too, and there's so much going on here that the potential to get lost down a combo rabbit hole is very real. You can target Godfall for not being particularly original. Indeed, the combat is God of War by way of the Soul series, even offering the ability to upgrade or enchant your weapons. You cannot fault it for offering a deep, brilliant feeling combat that gives some of the best feedback to the crunching melee attacks I've seen in quite a while. Another of the pillars to Godfall is the Valor plates that you can craft and wear. 12 in total, they appear to not only change the physical appearance of Orin, but also change him from male to female depending on the plate you're wearing. Each of these has a specific trait, making them akin to classes. Phoenix is fire-based, for example. There's an earth one, etc. You get the idea. As you'd expect, everything is incrementally upgradable, and these Valor plates are no exception to that rule. Only they use rare augments, which must be used sparingly as they contain power usage. These give more boosts to your attacking capabilities and yet more customization. It takes some time to get them working for you and understanding the loadout system, but again, the combo possibilities and use case examples are numerous, and it really does showcase depth of gameplay that's pretty impressive. What's less impressive is how dangerously close Godfall gets to an early grind state. Of all the games I wouldn't want to compare anything to, Anthem is right up there. Gating progress early on is never wise,
there you have it.
And aping a game that did it poorly is even less smart. Very early on, Godfall blocks your progress, asking you to go and collect a certain amount of things, which will unlock your path forward. Now look, it's nowhere near as egregious as Anthem, and the combat in Godfall is so far superior that it's not going to bother most people, even though it too often drops into a wave-based enemy encounter. But I was a little surprised to see a naturally flowing game halt me in this way and force me to go and spend time in previous areas to unlock trinkets. It does just enough to not fall into too heavy a grind, but that's going to be something that's very much player dependent. Some won't notice it, but there is a lot of repetition involved, abated by how good the combat is. Did I mention that? The combat is really, really good. Godfall offers plenty of boss encounters though, which are always a pleasure. Even on the side missions when you're grinding for items, there can be named enemy encounters, and they're wild, full of colour and just exceptional fun. It's easy to forget how well designed and visually stylistic Godfall is during these battles, but they are explosive situations with particles flying everywhere, enemies being summoned, all while you try to focus on the big bad in the centre of the arena. Truly, the boss battles feel epic, and then there's an explosion of loot, and yeah, this game puts Diablo to shame when it comes to that. Which leaves Godfall in a bit of a strange spot. It has brilliant combat and stunning visuals, but under the hood it's still one of those games. It doesn't thrust multiplayer upon you, it's just there and it saves it for the end game if you want, but it feels like a solo adventure for large parts of the game. It won't be for everyone, yet I found myself dying to go back every time I stopped. The combat is just that good, and the draw of smashing enemies with such thunderous force was always compelling. Yes, under it all, it's a grind-based loot game, but it's a very good one, and it makes so few of the missteps its contemporaries make. Out of the box, bar a few menu glitches, this game doesn't need major loot overhauls, it doesn't need huge redesigns, and it is not ashamed of what it is, and it does what it intends very well. And because of all of that, Godfall is kind of one of the biggest surprises of the year.
Mon Dieu.
Hey, Adam from GodIsAGeek.com here. Thank you for watching our video review of Godfall. Thoroughly enjoyed this
game.
Damn,
le review a passé vite,
Jesus Christ. You probably heard in the review. Really took me by surprise.
Mais je pense que ça va être un jeu qui est très divisive, là. Parce que, tu sais, lui il dit que le combat il est super fun. Fait que si t'accroches sur le combat, tu vas avoir du fun avec le jeu, malgré les shortcomings en termes d'histoire puis le fait que c'est un grindy game. Fait que, I guess que ce jeu-là, si t'aimes le gameplay, t'aimes le combat, tu vas aimer l'expérience en général. Mais si tu tripes pas sur le combat, you're fucked. Son Games Radar, The Last of Us 2, ainsi que God of War 2018, auraient du support pour les haptic adaptive triggers, excusez. Je me trompe en haptic feedback puis adaptive triggers, mais les nouvelles triggers de la DualSense, quand on utilise le shield. Ah non, c'est ça. Support haptic feedback puis les adaptive triggers. Fait que c'est les deux qui supportent. Je pensais que c'était juste une affaire. Fait que haptic feedback pour quand tu conduis le bateau dans The Last of Us. Puis quand tu utilises le shield dans God of War. Puis les adaptive triggers pour quand tu utilises l'arc à flèche dans The Last of Us. Interesting. Je sais pas comment ils ont réussi pour implémenter ça. This is weird. À cause du haptic feedback, il va y avoir des re-reviews. It's such a game changer. Qu'est-ce que Games Radar ont écrit? The Last of Us Part 2 on PS5 supports haptic feedback technology. Naughty Dog have yet to announce whether or not The Last of Us Part 2 will get an optimized, upgraded version for the PS5. However, when running it backwards compatibility on next-gen console, the game has haptic feedback on the DualSense controller. A member of the Games Radar team has tested it out, and the difference is immediately apparent when compared to the PS4 version. In combat, you can feel the tension in DualSense adaptive triggers when you draw the string back on the bow. While every shot you fire on a weapon will also result in feeling in the controller, and it feels amazing. Okay? If you've played The Last of Us Part 2, you're probably aware of the ability to control motorboats in the game. We tested the DualSense impact with that too, and it turns out that the controller will rumble just like the boat engine when you start it up. Knocking into obstacles will while steering the boat, as well as sweeping around corners, will also result in feedback on the DualSense. Even simple things like the DualSense glowing green to match the atmosphere of the moth loading screen has been added, and it's really effective. We also tested the controller with Sony Santa Monica's God of War, and it turns out that the game has also has DualSense feedback, especially when opening Kratos' shield or throwing his Leviathan axe. You can feel the impact in the controller immediately. Mais là, on se base sur des mots sur une page web, but that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Un autre jeu qui reçoit un upgrade next-gen, Rocket League. On a plus de détails par rapport à les specs. Sur Xbox Series X, le jeu va runner à 4K, 60 FPS plus HDR. Performance mode coming later. Cette résolution, c'est quoi? C'est 2K? 14... Whatever. 2688 fois par 1512 à 120 FPS plus le HDR. C'est des résolutions que je savais même pas qu'ils existaient, ça. Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, excusez, je me trompe tout le temps, maudit. 1080p, 60 FPS plus HDR. Performance mode va supporter 1344 par 756 à 720 FPS. 720 FPS, oui. 120 FPS. Voyons, je dormais de la misère le matin. Mais c'est quoi ça? C'est genre 720p, même pas 1080p à 120 FPS? 720 FPS, ça roule! J'ai confuse les deux chiffres ensemble. Hot Wheels Soccer. Puis sinon, PS5, 4K 60 FPS plus HDR. Fait que no 120 FPS mode sur PS5. Sinon, on a un update par rapport à Cyberpunk. Je sais pas si vous vous rappelez, mais hier, on a lu un article qui suggérait potentiellement, peut-être, que le jeu allait être delayed à cause que le Twitter account n'avait pas tweet out depuis comme 10 jours. La bannière avait été changée. Il n'y avait plus la date de sortie sur leur bio. Finalement, ils ont remis la bannière. Puis, quelqu'un chez CD Projekt Red a confirmé que la date du 10 décembre reste solide. Fait qu'il n'y a pas de delay prévu. Ça a été report par IGN originellement. Le PC Gamer, ils ont fait un article. Ça dit 2 weeks ago, CD Projekt Red delayed Cyberpunk 2077 from its slated release in November until December 10th. Which is crazy parce que dans quoi 8 jours, en théorie, on aurait été censé jouer à Cyberpunk. In an alternate timeline. Today, it reaffirmed that launch date, telling IGN that the launch date is solid. As a rule, we don't comment on rumors or speculation, a rep told the site, but I will confirm we were just taking time to update all of our assets to reflect the new launch date of December 10th. Fait que Cyberpunk ain't going nowhere. Fait qu'on va poursuivre avec some entertainment stuff, puis on va conclure avec la question de la semaine. On va conclure avec la question de la semaine. Comme vous savez, la semaine passée, ça avait été reporté comme quoi que Johnny Depp a été renvoyé de Fantastic Beasts à cause de toutes les allégations puis le legal bullshit qui se passe avec lui. Apparemment, Matt Mikkelsen sera en pourparlers pour le remplacer dans Fantastic Beasts. Deadline report put Matt Mikkelsen atop the list of actors being considered to replace Johnny Depp in the David Yates directed Fantastic Beasts 3, the third installment of the Harry Potter spin-off based on the J.K. Rowling fantasy franchise. Sources said he is Yates' choice to play Grindelwald, and he is in early talks. The aim is to keep on track a picture that recently moved its original November 12, 2021 release date to summer 2022. The cast led by Eddie Redmayne and Jude Law are already shooting. Depp was asked by Warner Brothers to withdraw from the role after he came out on the losing end of an ugly legal battle he waged against parce qu'il avait perdu against a British tabloid for labeling him and describing him as a wife beater in articles that covered his tumultuous marriage to Aquaman star Amber Heard. The judge sided with the newspaper. Depp reportedly was asked to leave after shooting 1 day on the film. He's being paid for the whole film, but had a 5-picture deal. And Warner Brothers has been racing ever since to lock in a new actor. There has been speculation on a number of thefts, but I hear that Yates is a big fan of Mikkelsen and that the Danish actor is the guy they are trying to lock in. He most recently wrapped up Doug Liman directed Chaos Walking. Stay tuned. And lastly, the Umbrella Academy has been officially renewed for season 3. Variety reports. Well, that's nice. Faudrait que j'écoute cette série-là. Netflix has officially renewed the popular superhero show for a third outing. News of the renewal comes just over 3 months after the season 2 launch as the most watched show on all streaming in its first week per Nielsen. The third season, which will once again consist of 10-hour-long episodes, is set to begin production in February 2021 in Toronto, Canada. Season 2 cast members returning for Season 3 include Ellen Page, Tom Hopper, David Castaneda, Emmy Raver-Lampman, Robert Sheehan, Aidan Gallagher, Justin H. Min, Ritu Arya, and Colm Fior. Steve Blackman, who other credits include Fargo and Altered Carbon, will return as showrunner and exclusive producer. Juste son nom de Disney, fait que j'ai pas beaucoup de temps. Ben, t'arrives pour la fin, King DC. Et moi, je savais même pas que c'était Jared Way. Le gars de My Chemical Romance a écrit les comics de The Umbrella Academy. That is mind-blowing. Question de la semaine maintenant, mesdames et messieurs. On parle de Console Wars parce que c'est la sortie des nouvelles consoles. Fait que let's see what y'all thought. Je vous ai posé sur mes réseaux sociaux. Quelle compagnie entre Sony et Microsoft vont gagner la console, la guerre des consoles à long terme? J'ai pas inclus Nintendo parce que Nintendo is off doing their own thing. Let's see what y'all have to say. On a sur Twitter, on a Jérémy Gilbert qui dit PlayStation. Tout simplement. Sinon, sur Discord, c'est là que les réponses ont été un peu plus développées. C'est ça, la Switch, elle se cache en arrière. Elle est comme, hey guys, can I be cool like y'all? On a Babouche qui dit aucune. Il n'y a plus de guerre de consoles. Les concurrents de Microsoft, ce sont Google avec Stadia / Google Home et Amazon avec Luna. Quant à Sony, ils sont seuls avec leur licence exclusive sur le marché des pures consoles de salon, de la même manière que Nintendo est seul sur son marché spécifique. C'est pas une... Écoutez-moi, j'ai toujours raison, mais c'est quand même un bon statement, ça, là. Genre, il y a même une entrevue qui a fait surface comme quoi que Phil Spencer, comme il dit straight up que what we want, c'est vendre Game Pass. Vendre de subscription. On a Chup qui dit Sony a les meilleures exclusivités et Microsoft a le Game Pass. D'après moi, si Microsoft peuvent mettre accent sur le Game Pass, peut-être ils vendront moins de consoles que Sony, mais point de vue stratégique, ils vont sortir gagnants. Le futur est dans le cloud gaming. Fait qu'un autre point, comme quoi que c'est un investissement à long terme. Parce que who knows où est-ce que le futur des consoles va aller? Est-ce que les prochaines consoles vont être strictly cloud-based si la technologie est capable de supporter? Maybe. Tu sais, si Microsoft c'est des early adopters dans du subscription service plans, c'est ce que le futur, ben, Sony va avoir des croûtes à manger down the road. Interesting take. On a Captain Thermos qui dit Sony ont la meilleure manette, end of story. Alright, sure. Nedveska qui dit pour moi c'est simple, PlayStation. Vous connaissez tous mon amour et mon discours redondant sur les JRPG. Xbox n'offre tout simplement pas assez de ce genre de jeu pour m'attirer en premier. Ce n'est pas une mauvaise console pour autant, mais pour moi, ce n'est pas le choix logique d'aller avec leur bébelle. Leur bébelle, Nedveska? How dare you? It's a console. Vendre des abos, c'est meilleur que vendre du plastique. Yeah, c'est ça. Parce que t'as comme un attachment à ton service. C'est comme Netflix. T'as un abonnement Netflix, tu peux l'utiliser sur ta Xbox, ta Smart TV, ton phone, ton ci, ton ça. T'sais, si Game Pass est disponible à un larger audience, ils vont sortir plus gagnants, effectivement. Je vous le dis, le futur de Xbox, le Game Pass intégré dans ta Smart TV, man. Ça va être huge. Justement, Alexis dit Nintendo fait du profit, Microsoft fait du profit, Sony fait du profit. Il n'y a aucun gagnant ou perdant dans cette guerre. And at the end of the day, he's pretty much right. Tu sais, que ce soit, tu sais, que Sony ou soit meilleur que Microsoft cette génération-ci, ou que Nintendo fasse plus de cash. Anyway, at the end of the day, ils font tout du cash. Fait comme, who cares about the console war? Tu sais? Puis sinon, on a Evoxys qui dit Let's make a list. PS5, exclusive. Demon's Souls, Sackboy Bing Bong, Miles Morales, new controller design avec la DualSense. Lots of games. PS Plus pour ceux qui n'ont pas eu de PS4, c'est winner pas mal. Clean new UI. Tandis que la Xbox Series X ainsi que S, confusing pour les casuals. Frigidaire en all caps. Exclusive. Launch titles. Pourquoi ils montent leur console avec des jeux last gen? What? Je me cassais de Gears 5 l'an passé quand il est sorti. Imagine-toi cette année. New things to bring to the table. Really, souvent les jeux du Game Pass sont sortis depuis un bout. So je vois pas vraiment le trip d'acheter une Xbox at launch versus une PS5, but only time will tell, I guess. Puis je suis sur Xbox depuis genre 11 ans, so I'm no PS fanboy. Fait que straight from a Xbox fan's mouth, he's not impressed with what Xbox has to offer. Mais si, tu sais, si on était à rater, si on avait à rater la guerre par le nombre d'unités de consoles vendues, obviously ça serait, je pense que ça serait PlayStation qui va gagner à long terme. Mais pour l'abonnement, c'est sûr que c'est Xbox for sure. Fait qu'ils ont comme deux. They're doing their separate thing. I guess qu'ils pull Nintendo des deux côtés. That's pretty much it pour la question de la semaine. Merci d'avoir participé encore une fois. Puis on va se retrouver next week for another one. Merci d'avoir été là. VIICTIIMINUTE as usual sur YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, Google Podcasts, ainsi qu'Apple Podcasts. Back tomorrow with more news. Sûrement qu'on va avoir des vidéos comme quoi que les PS5 pognent en feu. Comme qu'on a fait ce matin. Fait que, le gars pique qu'un enfant. I want my $700 machine. God damn it, don't you understand? Take care of yourselves. I don't know how to end it. Fait que, bye. Demain 9h, un autre VIICTIIMINUTE. That's how we roll. Puis, yep. That's the way it is. Take care. Bye-bye. Play Godfall. Play the Pathless. I don't. Ça sort demain anyway. Alright? Ciao!
Hello and bonjour, Canada.
How can you not like this guy? Bonjour. Dude, I love him.
We've had some incredible launch moments in Canada over the years. But for our most powerful console ever, we're powering the dreams of local creators with a mysterious